Thanks for coming on. I just saw your beautiful wife backstage, and today is the 20th anniversary of you guys meeting?
Yeah, this is the day we met 20 years ago.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah, it's really weird. Actually, and the movie Air is opening today, and we realized that Michael Jordan wore two numbers in his career, 45 and 23.
Yeah.
And the date is 4/5/23.
Oh, it did.
Crazy?
Yes! Come on, that's fun. I love that.
Much more importantly, it's 20 years since I met Lucy.
No, yeah, of course,
yeah,
that's much more important. How is the fam? Last time we talked, you were moving everyone from LA to New York.
Right, yeah, we did. It was the smartest thing we ever did. We're
You're
loving
here.
it. Yeah, we're in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
very,
good.
very happy, yeah.
You're loving it.
Loving it.
Let's talk about the new movie Air. I got to see it, and the reviews are in. Everyone loves it. It is fantastic, buddy.
Thanks,
You're
man.
so good in this. Everyone's good in it, by the way. So
Everybody's great. I mean, we got just a lights out cast.
you really do, but everything was good. The script was tight. You and Ben Affleck, obviously, everyone loves you guys together. You're great. This was 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this, when you won the Oscars for Good Will Hunting. Look at how happy, look at this.
We don't
Yeah!
we don't look too excited.
Yeah, I mean, that, you gotta be, I mean, what's going through, you remember this? Were you
I
pumped?
do. Well, we don't. The weird thing about that was that like the year before, we were watching it on TV. It was like there was no adjustment period where we went. Like we just suddenly were kind of there in the front row, and Billy Crystal sang a song with our names in it. We were like, what is happening?
What is going on with our lives?
Yeah, and we hadn't talked about like a speech or anything like that because I think as kind of lifelong Red Sox fans, you don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah, exactly.
because I think both of us, without even talking about it, we were like, because later we talked about it, and it was like, I had this feeling like if I ever said, hey, we should think about a speech, I would just flash forward to being like 50 years later in a bar with him going, can you believe we practiced a speech?
Yeah. That's why we lost.
That's why,
because we practiced.
like we would ever win an Oscar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then suddenly we were up there, and I just pushed him into the microphone. So he just started kind of babbling and then saying names of people who had helped us. And then I was next to him and I was just screaming the names. So he would say like, Chris Moore, and I'd go, Chris Moore! And he'd go, John Gordon. I'd go, John Gordon!
Gordon!
I was just so happy, and but that was my contribution to the speech.
Isn't that fun?
I was like the hype man in the corner, you know.
Do you still have that passion and that love of the movies and the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, that's one of the reasons we started this company. Ben and I started this kind of mini studio together, and this was our first movie. For the studio, which was really cool.
What's it called again?
Artist Equity.
Artist Equity,
Yeah, because we're pulling a lot of the crew members, we're trying to pull them above the line and get them paid better. And you know, we kind of feel like...
Yeah. Good for you.
So...
I read about that.
But it's definitely like a white knuckle exercise because we're responsible for the overages, you know? So it's like...
Did you go over budget?
In 3 places we went over budget. We went over budget, but in all really good places. We went over budget in construction because we were moving so fast that we had the construction teams working 24 hours a day to build the sets, or else we were going to run out of stuff to shoot. So we had budgeted 33 days and we shot this in 24. So we were moving really fast without even trying to. And then we went over with we had budgeted we had allotted a certain amount of money for cast, and then we got this cast, so we paid more.
Yeah. You got
and we were very happy to pay more, and then we went over budget on food trucks. Because we had
You're a smart guy. You know how to throw a party.
Well, we've been doing this for a long time, and we know what matters.
Secret.
And like, you know, people would come out and they'd be like, there's a Korean barbecue truck.
Yeah, that's exactly right, dude. It makes everyone happy.
Yeah, it was really, it was the most fun either of us have ever had making a movie, and we've had a lot of fun making movies. So.
I said it before, but I really mean it. You're one of the best actors to do it, and I love watching you act. It's amazing. You're great. I think that for me, like if it was a team, you're my go-to player. If you're on my team, I go, just give the ball to Matt. He'll nail the line. You go, how do you like them apples? Or, you know, Ford versus Ferrari, you're like, you know, this stopwatch thing, you're like, you want one? They're Italian. And it's like, yes! You have the way of delivering these lines that like the crowd goes nuts. When I watched Air, you had a couple of them. Everyone just claps. I'm like, Do you go into a script going, oh, that'll be the line I nail?
No.
No.
No,
You just read it and just do it.
Yeah. And I mean, I look at the whole script, and usually if it's a good script, then it'll have lines in it, but I won't kind of plan it out like that. I mean, How Do You Like Them Apples was kind of because I'm slamming the number against the window and all that. So that definitely felt like a bigger thing, because it's a bigger thing in the movie, but I didn't think it would like sustain, you know.
Is that the line that everyone yells to you when they see you?
That, or they just say my name like the puppet in Team America.
Yeah, that's the other way to do it too. Yeah,
that's the other one I hear a lot. Yeah.
Well, when you get this idea, you go, okay, this is a fantastic idea. This is how kind of the industry changed, you know, and a sneaker company started working with one person. You created the Air Jordan brand. You go, okay, first steps, we have to talk to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was the first thing. Well, because the script was
Can't
great.
make it without him.
Well, he's not in the movie.
No,
you do realize he's not in the movie.
Yep.
And that's all by design, because it's really about that deal to make this shoe, and going back to 1984, and Nike was not Nike, that like the Nike we know. They were like this underdog. They were in third place in the basketball division.
That was like already blowing me away when that came up. I'm like, oh yeah, was it Converse? And then
Converse and Adidas, and then Nike. Yeah, and I'd forgot. I mean, I read the script and I was like blown away. I was like, this is all true. Like, but so that's, I think Alex, the screenwriter, did a really good job of kind of setting what things looked like in 1984, and it just was really surprising.
So did you have a meeting with Michael, or did you make Ben do that?
I made Ben do that.
Yeah, smart. Yeah. You go, Ben, come on, charm him. Yeah.
No, Ben went down to talk to him, and actually that was the kind of the critical thing, because we, out of that meeting, Michael, because first of all we said, look, we're not going to do it. If you don't want us to do it, we're not going to do it. And he was like, no, it's a good idea for a movie. But Ben said, what's most important that we get right? Like, what's most important to you? And what he spoke about were three things. There was Howard White, who's an executive that Chris Tucker plays in the movie.
Great.
Yeah, he's awesome. And George Raveling, who Marlon Wayans plays. George Raveling was the first person who talked to Michael about Nike. And then he talked at length about his mother. And that was kind of the critical thing. It was like, oh, wait a minute. You know, to see like Michael, who's a very intimidating dude, suddenly kind of be awestruck and talk about his mom, and so that was so when Ben said, look, who do you think we should get to play? And before he finished the sentence, the question, Michael was like, Viola Davis.
Yeah.
So Ben, yeah.
I mean, Viola Davis.
That's who you go to hit the shot, by the way.
Yeah, that's who you go to. Yeah, you give it to Viola Davis.
So he called me. He was like, I got great news and bad news. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, the great news is, I know exactly what to do for the rewrite. Like, we're going to put in George Raveling, we're going to put in Howard White, and we're going to make his mom central to the whole thing. And I go, well, great, what's the bad news? He goes, we have to get Viola Davis, or we can't make the movie.
You're like, all right, that is our mission, because everyone wants Viola Davis in their
movie. Well, that's what I said to Ben. I was like, that's like saying you want Michael Jordan on your basketball team. Like,
exactly, it's a good way to put it, yeah.
So we went and we rewrote, and we really just kind of drilled down on that character and the dynamic between her and everybody else in the movie.
She was phenomenal.
She's phenomenal.
She's phenomenal. She's great, and it's so well done, well acted, well written. Everything was good. It's funny as well, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that would be a great movie. It's like, it's about a shoe deal, like. But,
yeah.
But trust me, it's great. It's
cheering.
a lot of fun.
By the end, no, it makes you feel good.
Yeah. That's what we used to call a feel-good movie,
feel-good
right?
movie of the year. And it's like, at the end, you're like standing ovation, clapping, like, yes, I'm so happy for everybody. It's wild. You're getting fantastic reviews. A lot of critics are saying this is the best movie of the year so far. So congratulations.
It's only April.
That's true, yeah. I want to.
We haven't seen Super Mario Brothers yet.
That's true, yeah. We got to wait this weekend. Matt, your new movie, Air, is all about Nike Michael Jordan, so I thought it'd be fun to play a game of basketball with a twist. This is beer pong basketball. Here we go. Now, here's how this works. We're going to be throwing these basketballs into those giant red cups. If you make a shot, your opponent chugs a beer. First one to make 3 shots wins. Matt, you're my guest, so why don't you go first?
All right, do I have to hit a particular...
Not as easy as it looks. Let me show you
Not
how
as
it
easy
works.
as it looks.
Yeah, watch it. Oh! Oh, yeah! Off the board! Off the board on that one, yeah! Woo!
All
That's
right.
good. We can go to commercial right now if you want.
I was sure that was in. I was sure that was
yeah,
in.
Me too. I was sure. This one's. Oh!
This is brutal. Am I allowed to get it in the same one? All right.
This one's for the win.
This is for the win. Oh, man.
I love you. Like, can I get it in the one exact one? Yeah, you did. You called that shot. All right, here we go. For the win. Matt Damon's movie Air is out tonight. You can go see it in theaters.
You're saying this because you think you're going to hit the shot. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What's up? Boing. Oh, yeah! There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Come on now.